All right, I am so sorry about the technical difficulties that I've been experiencing this morning with Wednesday webinar. But again, my name is Pamela Howard, and I am your host. I will be talking about SMART goals in regards of how they pertain to events. And I'm going to be sharing my screen here shortly. One thing I want to talk about is goal setting. So there's a very famous quote that you all may have heard of, which is called "A goal without a plan is a dream." Now, there's a lot of wisdom in that quote. If you want to have successful, you want to have success with your goals as it pertains to events, you need to make them very specific. They need to be measurable and completed with a deadline. Very, very important. And you need to track these efforts with some type of tracking mechanism that's going to keep you accountable with a worksheet so that you know your progress along the way. Now, let's talk a little bit about what is a goal. A goal is generally defined as something that an individual or group is trying to achieve. People often set goals within a specific time frame, so there's a deadline for completion. Doesn't matter if the goal is short or long, it needs to be broken down into sets of tasks. Doing so essentially turns one goal into several mini goals. These tasks or action steps designed to work towards a larger goal are often referred to as objectives. Now, a lot of people, well, I'm putting the cart before the horse. So let's talk a little bit now about objectives. Now that you have a clear understanding of what a goal is, let's talk a little bit about objectives. Objectives are measurable and specific actions that can be taken to achieve an end result. Okay? Now, when we talked about goal, we said a goal is generally defined as something that an individual or group is trying to achieve. So you're working towards that. Now, objective is saying that it's measurable and specific actions. So there will be measurable and specific actions to achieve an end result, and your end result is typically your goal. They are often planned and carried out on a shorter term basis. These are the objectives and may be designed to help an individual group, organization reach a broader or larger term goal. Okay? Now, if you haven't figured out the difference between goal and objective, then maybe this will help. The term goal and objective can often be used interchangeably, and they both refer to an aim or desired outcome that a person or group hopes to accomplish. So if you're putting together a group, a Facebook group, or some type of networking group for your potential clients or clients that you already have, then this applies to you. Or if you're just an individual with trying to put together projects or workshops or retreats, again, understanding the difference between the goal and objective is key. Now, goals often point to a larger purpose, a long-term vision, or a less tangible result, whereas objectives tend to be time-limited, measurable actions with tangible outcomes that help push progress towards broader goals. Okay? Now that's the difference between goals and objectives. Now, let me pull up my screen here. I want to share. Give me one second. We're going to talk about what is SMART. What is SMART goals? Okay? Okay, now we're talking about what are SMART goals. The SMART approach, which is something I love to use when it comes to project planning, event planning, it allows you to handle goals, handling goals for a out of a corporate world, um, or even from an entrepreneurial world. It came from corporate, but it can be used for us as entrepreneurs and small businesses today. Okay, so specific. One of the things you need to look at when you're going to use the SMART method, which I highly recommend, is is it specific? Being clear defines the goal as succinctly as possible, okay? Measurable, identifying the metric for measuring progress and success. So if you're looking at my screen, I have a list of how to be SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely, okay? Achievable. Set realistic goals that can be completed within the parameters. So even as simple as follow-up, if you're going to meet with someone today and you know, hopefully you've planned out your week and you may not have time to follow up. Maybe you got to do some research before you follow up that person. Give that person you're following up a realistic time that you're going to follow up. Don't tell them within 24 to 48 hours if you know it's going to go into your next week. And be relevant. Ensure that the goals are worth pursuing. It is a really bad feeling to be put all your blood, sweat, and tears into a goal that you're trying to reach, and it isn't even relevant to what you're trying to pursue. It's a really bad feeling because what's going to happen is you're going to be marketing to the wrong target market. Okay? And then last but not least, being timely or time bound. Assign deadlines to your goals and related action steps. Very, very important. Now, using the SMART framework for managing goals and objectives can help you examine the motivation behind pursuing a certain goal. It can also help you determine what resources will be required to reach that goal. The SMART, which is an acronym, S.M.A.R.T, they have guideline breaks down the goal planning process into clear steps so that vital questions can be answered efficiently. Now, you may be saying, What exactly needs to be accomplished? Questions like, how will you know when your goal has been reached? What is the timeline? And who is going to be responsible for the different actions required to reach a goal? Now, if you're a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, and you're trying to, set your SMART goals, but, you may have collaborative partners that may be working with you. For example, I have a program that's called Learn How to Generate New Income and New Customers. Okay, new revenue and new customers. You may know how to already make money, but do you know how to make new money and get new customers? So this is all about, I'm not want to spend a lot of time on this, but anyway, I'm bringing this up because in that particular project that I do, I work with collaborative partners like photographers. I work with brand specialists, things that I'm not an actual expert in, but I know that I need those things in order to reach the goals that I need for my potential client or for the clients that I currently have. So you have to, create action goals required for each goal. If your collaborative partner is going to have a take in that. Now, SMART goals may be specifically used when dealing with complex goals that need to be broken down into multiple actionable steps that you delegate to various team members, just like I was just speaking of, okay, to track the overall time frame. This framework can also be combined with other strategic planning by analyzing strengths, weaknesses, identifying internal and external resources, and evaluating risk. Planning for potential problems and tracking metrics closely can help reduce risk, keep progress on track, increase the chances of reaching a goal by the desired completion date. So this is all of about creating SMART event goals. Now, let's go to the next slide. Now, here are a few examples of what's a SMART goal and what's not a SMART goal, okay, to get a better sense of it. Now, you will see that I've highlighted not a SMART goal, and you will see why. So say for instance, you're going to put something on social media. So you're going to make that a goal, post more often on social media. Now, if you're getting this on the replay or if you're actually joining me live now, just put in comments some things that's wrong with why this is not a SMART goal. Okay. And I have highlighted what is a better SMART goal. So if you look under that, it says, instead of saying I'm going to post more often on social media, you really want to be as specific as possible and say, I'm going to post 3 times per week on Facebook and Instagram. So not only are you identifying where you're going to make your post, but you're also identifying and being clear how many times you're going to make that post in a week. Now that you can't get no more specific than that, okay? The second not such a SMART goal is follow up with more leads, okay? And then you will see, as another example, I have follow up on Fridays with 10 connections, okay? So that's being more specific, other than saying I'm going to follow up with leads. And then lastly, my last example is finish my ebook content. Okay, you have to remember, you have to make realistic, measurable, actionable steps. So you say, I'm going to write for 1 hour daily on my ebook content. Okay, and you can even take that even further and say, to be completed in 30 days. If you're writing 1 hour a day of content for an ebook, there is no reason why you shouldn't be able to accomplish that in 30 days. Okay, does that make sense? Now, expectations for success can be achieved if you do the following things. Now, taking small steps, okay? Now, start small. and build on that success. Whether you're aiming to retire by a certain age, grow business profits over 5 year period, create a plan that starts with the steps you can take now, okay? Add benchmarks down the road so you can have clear short-term steps to reach your ultimate goal. Doing so provides a manageable ladder for you to climb and gives you ongoing gratification as you reach each objective leading to the end goal. So start small. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be, it may seem a little rudimentary. So, in other words, you may sometimes, how many times do we tell ourselves, oh, I don't have this in place, or I need to do this before I can do that? You just need to start and then you build from there because 9 times out of 10, you probably don't even have the clientele to be completely done. So, it's okay to be a little bit of rudimentary in the beginning, okay? you know, Focus on your most important goals. Dealing with the goals of a complex organization, long term project, or even an individual life can feel a little bit overwhelming. In any situation, just identify the most important goal. And this is going to help you create an effective plan of action and prioritize other goals. Okay? Even this webinar that I'm doing on Wednesday, think of it as an experimentation process, okay? To reach your long-term goals, multiplied in ways, especially if you're not already achieving your SMART goals. And try something else, okay? Consider both lead and lag measures. Measuring key indicators is vital to tracking the process and effectiveness of business endeavors. Leading and lagging indicators are both important measures of success, but each provides different information. Simply put, lead measures are drivers that can help you achieve a goal, which lag measures are the outcomes, okay? The former is predictive, while the latter provides information about a completed process. Lagging indicators offer measurable results that can be used to analyze progress. However, when planning business goals, it is vital to consider the leading indicators that may improve those outcomes. And remember, always celebrate your success. Keeping goals in visible place is a simple tip that can go a long way towards maintaining focus and tracking your process. It could mean keeping files easily accessible, okay? So updates are shared among stakeholders. I know one thing, a lot of people use Google Docs to keep things there. One thing I like about Google Docs is that you don't have to worry about data because it's going to keep it in that cloud in Google Docs. And two, I love the fact that you can make many projects and create a shareable link. You can control who views it, if they can make edits. You can add them to live webinars like this. So keeping your goals in a visible place is also good as well. Or having some type of management platform or a virtual digital platform where you can manage goals and then add other team members or collaborative partners in there is so important. And consider accountability as a form of motivation, okay? Have accountability partner or have something that's going to hold you accountable. Goals for work projects may have accountability built into it, okay? Deadlines and performance reviews. But when undertaking personal goals, it may help you choose an accountability partner or let friends and family know what goals you are working towards so that you can have that help. Think about what you've learned from your efforts. Make sure to celebrate something you've accomplished and think about how you can prepare for the next week. Okay. Now, Smart Toolkit content. Um, at the end of this webinar, I am going to share a link where you can actually start creating your SMART event goals. Okay. Use this tool to practice writing your SMART goals, identify your focus, Use the tool to track your progress. Also, you want to also keep a rack of goals that you have achieved. Now, if you may have more questions, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. I have put my contact information on there, PamelaPlans.com, where you can actually schedule a complimentary discovery call with me. And again, I'm going to put a link so that you can start your SMART goal, your SMART event goals, and prepare yourself. This is actually going to prepare yourself for the 6 steps to plan amazing. These SMART goals, you're going to be able to check to see if they're specific. You're going to be able to check and see if they're measurable. You'll be able to check and see if they're achievable, relevant, time bound, all of those things, which is actually going to let you know if you're able to know what to do first, if you're going to know how to pay for your event. It's going to also help you with how am I going to get people actually to attend my event. It's also going to help you with having a team or collaborative partners who's going to help you with all of this. And then also the SMART goal worksheet will also help you with being able to know what to do on event day, which primarily you want to be the expert. And then last but not least, you're going to be able to see if you need to prepare for contingency, all by doing the SMART tool sheet. So I want to thank you all for joining me this morning for another webinar Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we're actually going to be talking about how to pay for your event in 5 steps with a focus on obtaining sponsorships for your event. So join me again every Wednesday. Growing Your Business Through Events. We'll host a Wednesday webinar. I try to keep them to 20 to 30 minutes. I may go over just depending on the content. And I look forward to being able to share more information, help you reach your SMART goals, giving you those 6 steps to plan amazing so that you can have beautiful and wonderful outcomes. There's no registration required for Webinar Wednesday. You just have to be a member of Growing Your Business Through Events. Share this with someone who you know is struggling or having challenges with growing their business through events, needing some strategies, which this is one, to set up some simple SMART goals. Don't forget to come back to this webinar and download the link so that you can get your SMART worksheet and start planning better events on today. Thank you again and have a beautiful week.